Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. I am Addict, and today I am going to be talking to you all about my other addiction apart from tea, and I do have a cup right here, cheers, which is Sims 2 custom content. I am so excited to be making this video. I have wanted to make this video for a really long time. I think I've actually recorded versions of this video in the past and everything, but today I am going to be giving you my recommendations for if you are just getting started with Sims 2 custom content. I have put together a resource for you all, some lists, and I am so excited to share this with you all. So if you are new to The Sims 2 and you are like, I wouldn't mind dabbling in a little bit of custom content just to flesh out my game a little bit, I have got you covered. The reason I love Sims 2 custom content so much is because The Sims 2, while it is in my opinion the best life simulator game of all of the Sims games in the franchise, it does, I think particularly if you're coming to The Sims 2 just from playing The Sims 4, it does maybe lack a little bit in terms of how much content there is in build and buy mode. And that is because, yeah, this game was a life simulation game, not a stuff and clutter simulation game. So in terms of having a lot of stuff and clutter, you know, there's not that much to choose from when you're playing The Sims 2 unless you dabble in Sims 2 CC. And so that is why I love it so much. I love just getting extra, you know, walls, floors, decorative items, kitchens and living room sets and all that jazz, just to like flesh out my game a little bit more. And then I feel like I'm enjoying the best of everything. I feel like I'm enjoying the best life simulation, the best character AI, plus having all of this extra CC from other games like 4:2 conversions or just Maxis Match, you know, conversions and add-ons and things that just creates the full enjoyable experience of The Sims 2 that I love so much. So as I said, I have put together some top 10 lists for you guys. I have top 10 favorite must-have essential CC. I have top 10 if you want to then add on 10 extra favorite CC. I have my top 10 for if you want to do a 4:2 style downloads folder, or if you just want to add it in as well, that's totally fine. And then I also have some extra bonus recommendations for websites to check out, creators to check out, my favorite Recolor artists for The Sims 2, all kinds of things here for you guys today. So let's dive in. Now, full disclosure, in this video we are not going to be talking so much about mods. Mods and custom content are different in my mind in that mods alter the gameplay, whereas custom content is just set dressing essentially. So I'm not going to be talking so much about mods in today's video. I will have more videos coming out in the next few weeks about mods, but this video in particular we're talking about custom content. I also wanted to say that I have already done a number of videos about Sims 2 CC that you can check out here on my channel. There is a playlist called How to Sims 2 CC, which goes into a lot more detail about the nitty-gritties about Sims 2 custom content. And so I did want to just point out that I do have a lot of resources here for you all on the channel already if you are interested in checking that out. But so if you are coming into The Sims 2 for the first time, you may, you know, jump into one of the pre-made neighborhoods. You may decide to create your very own neighborhood like I have just quickly done here, because you can do that in The Sims 2 whenever you feel like it. The first thing we will notice is that perhaps, you know, these trees maybe don't look the best, like, you know, the terrain is kind of this funny green color, you know, the models are kind of old. Look, it's an old game, and I'm going to mention that a few times. This game is 20 years old, okay? So some of the content in this game is just quite frankly outdated. It was made for very different computer systems. You know, 3D modeling and texturing is not what it is today, and so you can kind of see that reflected in, like, you know, some of these tree models right here. And then the other thing you might notice, I don't have my camera mods in, so we can't really zoom out that much, but the neighborhoods, particularly if we go into a lot, might be the best way to show it. So let's just quickly go on to a lot. So we will notice, you know, that the sky is just sort of plain blue. If you could see the coast as well, you would notice that the neighborhood just kind of disappears into nothingness where it disappears off the edge of the world. It's just a blue void essentially. So the first sort of section of CC that I'm going to talk about and recommend to you all are some bits and pieces to help improve our neighborhoods. So my favorite recommendations in this category are to get default replacements for the neighborhood trees, to get a default replacement for the terrain and to get some extra CC that we call distant terrain objects and skybox objects. And to do this, we are going to need to put in a camera mod as well. So I'll make sure to link everything that you're going to need in the document that's attached to this video. But so if we go jump over to Google and search for Sims 2 neighborhood terrain default replacement, we are going to get a bunch of options for replacing the grass in the neighborhood, and often these default replacements will also include replacements for the roads as well as the grass. So I am going to link for you all in the document a couple of my personal favorites, which are the Lord Crump's road and neighborhood terrain defaults, the Cricket's rural charm default replacement, and also the default replacement neighborhood terrain that I personally use in my downloads folder, which is this one. It is an edited version of Curious Bee's lush terrain, and I really love it. The next thing we can Google is Sims 2 neighborhood tree defaults, and we can actually go ahead and replace all of the neighborhood trees. I have included links for all of my favorite neighborhood tree defaults in the document, but just to show you guys some of them quickly, these beautified birch trees I just absolutely love. I cannot play without this default replacement. I have also personally made some default replacements for the pine tree forests that were using the single pine tree default replacements by Lourdes. I don't know actually how to pronounce his name. But yeah, so pine tree default replacements, as well as my favorite oak tree default replacements, which is of course the linden trees default replacements, which is by Cricket. The other one you can get now is of course Lord Crump's all-in-one neighborhood tree default replacement. We're going to talk about Lord Crump's a lot in this video, but yeah, so you can default replace all of the tree models with Sims 4 meshes instead if you so desire. So as I said, everything will be linked in the document below. And then in terms of the skies and distant terrains that I mentioned, first of all, there is a great resource here on Tumblr which talks all about Sims 2 distant terrains and skyboxes and has a bunch of links for you guys. So my personal favorites are the Great Sky of Totalitarianism. I don't know why it's telling me I'm leaving Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, thank you very much. Which we can see here. I also really enjoy the animated skies that iCAD did, the animated skies for the Great Sky Project, and then as well as that distant terrains. So there are some seasons enabled distant terrains here. So these are conversions from like The Sims 3. There's also some distant terrains which match just the sort of blanket default Sims 2 terrains, and so again, links below. But if we go ahead and chuck a couple of these objects into our game, I will show you the difference that that makes. Okay, so now as we can see, first of all, my trees are looking quite different. You can see this is the oak tree forest, and these are the trees I had over here before with the birch trees. And then these are some of the 4:2 pine trees that I made in collaboration with Lord Crump's as well. My grass is a little bit greener. And then in terms of the skyboxes and distant terrains, you can see I've put in a mod, so that means I can zoom out further and move around the neighborhood more freely. So again, that will be included in the downloads folder. So if we go into here, I can now also add in some distant terrain with these funny little box things here. And so these are really cool. These are some of my favorite things to use in every neighborhood I play in. So these are these funny little boxes, and you'll see here they've got this little arrow on them. You use the arrow keys to rotate, line them up with a corner of the neighborhood and plonk it down right there. And we now sort of have this distant terrain kind of vibe going on with some mountains and different things. There are quite a number of different versions of distant terrains you can get. As I said, some of my favorites are actually converted from The Sims 3 to show you guys one of those. I believe this one was the distant terrain for Sunset Valley. So that looks really nice. And then yeah, so it just means that when you're in your neighborhood and also in your lot view, you can sort of look up and see something in the distance. And then in terms of the skyboxes, these work in the same way. So I can go ahead and grab this one. This is one of my favorite. Just add some nice little clouds to the sky. So I will also rotate that, line it up and put it down. And then now you can see I've got this nice cloudy sky that makes the neighborhood just feel a lot more compact and all zoomed in together. So those are my recommendations for your neighborhoods. Now let's talk about your Sims in The Sims 2. So as I mentioned, Sims 2 is a 20-year-old game. A lot of the content is a little outdated and textures are not what they are now back in 2004. So my next recommendations are to get yourself some default replacements for the Sims, in particular eyes and eyebrows and skin. Hair defaults are also a big thing, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So if you want more information about hair default replacements, I recommend checking out my other video about default replacements that I'll put a card to right here. But so as we can see here, our lovely lady here, you know, she's a bit 2004 looking, isn't she? Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but just a little bit 2004 looking. And so if we go ahead and grab just a couple of default replacements for her, I promise we can make her look so much more modern. Now, sim default replacements are something that I get asked about all the time. I'm constantly getting asked, what default replacements do you use? How do you make your Sims look so pretty? How do you make your Sims look so modern? In my document that I have made for you all, I have included direct links to all of the default replacements that I personally use for my Sims in The Sims 2. So yeah, I have included links for you guys so you can just download them directly, but if you want to explore a little bit more for yourself, I highly recommend going to the Sims 2 default database, which is on Dreamwidth, and this is your one-stop shop for getting default replacements for everything for your Sims in terms of create a Sim, clothing, hair, eyes, everything, face templates, skin tones, etc, etc. So this top section here is all for clothes. Then we have a section for hair. You can also default replace your makeup, your face templates, your skin tones, eyes, etc, etc. So again, I will link this website in the description, and if you want to go exploring, be my guest. But for now, let me just go ahead and put in my personal default replacement so I can show you guys the difference that that makes to the game. Alright, so I couldn't get the exact same Sim again, but here is a very similar looking Sim, just with some new eye textures, skin textures, and eyebrow textures. Makes a world of difference in my opinion, and I think she looks absolutely lovely. As I said, you can also go ahead default replace all of the hair and clothing for The Sims 2. So again, you can use the Sims 2 default database to go through and do that. I have also included in my document some direct links to some of my favorite creators for Create a Sim. So enjoy going through their websites when you have time. Okay, so here we are on our test lot once again, and you can kind of see the difference, especially from lot view, I feel, in the grass texture, and then also the difference it makes to have those distant terrain objects as well as the skybox and the nice clouds and the nice tree textures and all of that kind of thing. Just makes the game feel so much more modern to me. Now, in terms of build and buy mode content for The Sims 2, this is where, as I was saying at the start of the video, The Sims 2 was not a stuff simulator. The Sims 2 was a life simulator. So in terms of the amount of stuff that we have in the game, you know, there's definitely not as much as, for example, The Sims 4, which has how many DLCs now, and 10 years worth of content that's been made for the game, not only by, you know, EA and the team, but also by CC creators. It's just insane how much content there is out there for The Sims 4. But The Sims 2, you know, we've got some content happening as well. So I am going to give you guys my top recommendations for just sort of completing a very vanilla Maxis Match feeling Sims 2 folder, because otherwise, you know, you might come in and play The Sims 2 for the first time and be like, oh, I'm going to build a very nice kitchen. Okay, so here's some counters, and then let's get this nice stove, and let's try to make it not green, and oh, there's no white. Okay, no white, no black, no gray. Interesting. And then you might be like, oh, can I add some cabinets to the kitchen? And you might look through and try to find some kitchen cabinets, and oh my gosh, there aren't any kitchen cabinets. Okay, so sure. Then you might go ahead and decide, okay, well, maybe let's make a bathroom. Let's make a bathroom. And this is something that I joke about in my community, because time and again, I have seen a player, particularly a Sims 4 player, come into The Sims 2 for the first time and spend at least 15 minutes trying to find toilet paper. Guys, I'm going to save you 15 minutes. There's no toilet paper decorative object in The Sims 2 by default, okay? I'm sorry to say it. There is no toilet paper unless you download some, okay? There's some hand towels, you know, that we can see here, which are kind of nice. And there's this like towel rack and this towel rack, and here's like, you know, something you could add to your kitchen as well. There we go. So we can put that in the kitchen just to decorate it a bit more. But yeah, look, there's no toilet paper, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys my favorite toilet paper download, okay? Okay, so to start off with, my first CC recommendation set is the Honeywell Better Bath Collection, a Maxis Bathroom Makeover. This set gives you some really nice, very Maxis Match content that is just cleaner, brighter, whiter, nicer, and includes toilet paper. It also includes some really nice recolors, some rugs, and some decorative objects to make your bathrooms feel a lot more modern than the vanilla Sims 2 bathrooms. So Better Bath Collection is my number one recommendation for a great beginner bathroom custom content set. And we can kind of see here, this is like the Maxis originals, and then Honeywell has just taken them and just again made things a little cleaner, you know, a little brighter, a little whiter, and of course added that oh so important toilet paper roll. Now, talking about our kitchens, there are a couple of different sets that you can get to add extra counters and wall cabinets for your kitchens in The Sims 2. My number one recommendation is Counter Completers by Nick Sims or Nix Navis. So counter completers take the vanilla Sims 2 counters and add a bunch more meshes and variations and options, as well as some really nice upper counters. There is part 1 and there is also part 2, so both of them will be linked in the video description as well. Now this is quite a big set, so if you don't want something that is this big and you just want to add some cabinets, I also have an alternative, which is the full set of Maxis Match wall cabinets updated. So this just gives you simple overhead cabinets for your Sims 2 Maxis Match kitchens, as you see here. And in a similar vein, I also have included a link for these awesome stove hoods. These were done by Kiri, and these give you some Maxis Match stove hood cabinets too, which are really nice to include in your game. Then in terms of the kitchen appliances, I have included a link to Michelle's clean recolors of all of the base game appliances. So we get white, grey, and black for every single appliance in The Sims 2, which is very much appreciated and needed. So once again, I'm going to download this stuff and show you guys what it looks like in my game. Alright, so here we are back on our lot, and now what I can do, since I grabbed some nice recolors, is I can make my stove a nice white stove. And then we are using this counterculture set. If we come into our cabinet section now, you can see this has kind of exploded. So I went ahead and downloaded everything in the counter completers set. So these were our original 2 counters for this set, and then we've now got a bunch of alternatives, if I can use my words, that'd be good. Alternative variations on this one counter that we can now use for our kitchen, as well as if we come into, I believe it's shelves, yes it is, we also have a full set of matching upper cabinets too, which is just really, really nice, and as I said, just makes the game that much more complete in my opinion. If we go into electronics, into I think it's in alarms, yep, alarms, we can also now add this Maxis Match stove hood. You can see that's not actually lined up, so that's okay. I'm just going to shift these up a click to actually line them up, and then Bob's your uncle, we're good to go. So now our kitchens can be that much more complete and fleshed out, and of course all of these cabinets, you reuse the textures from the original counters, so any recolors that you download for these will also apply to these upper cabinets too, which is really nice. Moving on to our bathroom, so originally we had our toilet with absolutely no toilet paper. We also didn't have any sort of, you know, actual clean white toilets. I can now put in a nice clean white toilet, and if I go into the miscellaneous section, I can now add some toilet paper. Hooray! And then in terms of, you know, the baths and showers, whereas this is the default Maxis bath shower tub combo, this is Honeywell's version of it, and as you can see, it is just so much sort of nicer, neater, cleaner. And then she also includes this backless version as well, which is quite nice, so you don't have to have the big tile backdrop with that one as well. Better Bath set also does give you a couple of custom rugs, so like bath mats that you can put into your bathrooms as well, and these come with some nice recolors that you can use in any room of the house, not just a bathroom, as you see here. So these are some nice additions for your families as well. Okay, so now my next recommendations for you all are to make sure you go ahead and grab the Maxis store and pre-order bonus content if you want to play a very sort of Maxis Match vanilla Sims 2 game. Sims 2 did have a store, not as big of a store as the Sims 3, but it did have a store. Sims 2 also did have pre-order and bonus content. This really should have been included in the Legacy Edition of the game, in my opinion. It wasn't, but never fear, you can download it and put it in. I will, of course, have a link for that in the video description, but I actually already have it in my game right now. One of my favorite things that the store and pre-order bonus content gives you are some really nice custom cars that you otherwise won't have in the game. So if we take a look in here, we have, you know, this really nice Ford here. I don't love that it actually says Ford on it because I like my game to all be in Simlish, but I'll give them a pass on that one. Yeah, so you can see the cars that come as the part of the bonus pre-order content, some really nice ones. And some of my other favorite items that you get with the pre-order content are actually some nice little TVs as well. This computer is kind of fun too. If we go move objects on. Yeah, really nice computer. We've also got this TV, which is part of the Asian furniture set. We've also got this TV. And this TV, and this TV. So yeah, as I said, if you don't have the pre-order and store bonus content, make sure you go ahead and grab it. It adds some really nice objects that are obviously very Maxis Match in style because they they were made by Maxis. And yeah, just adds that little bit extra to your game. It also gives you extra Creator Sim content. Oh, and it does give you extra build mode content as well, sorry. So one of the sets is this like sort of rundown spiderwebby kind of scary looking set if you want to create some fun, like don't come here vampires infested lots or something. This is some really cool content for doing that. Another big collection of items was the Art Deco collection. So there is some Art Deco windows and objects. As I mentioned, there's the Asian set. So you get some different bits and pieces with the Asian set. And then there's also a castle kit, which came with the pre-order and store content. So the castle kit is also really fun. One of my favorite things to use in my medieval folder actually. And yeah, it gives you some different windows and doors if you want to create a castle, as well as these like fun sort of castle walls, which are really cool. Add some extra depth to your lots if you want to build a castle. Then the next big bundle of content I'm going to recommend you guys get is the Life Stories bundles. So The Sims 2 Life Stories was a spin-off game of The Sims 2 released around a similar time, and people have gone ahead and converted all of the Life Stories content into The Sims 2. And so again, this is going to be super Maxis Match. In particular, I really love Life Stories for the extra walls and floors that it gives us. But so if we once again exit the game, because I haven't put this one in ahead of time, not as organized as I want it to be. And if we Google Sims 2 Life Stories bundles, again, links will be in the document below. We have a couple of links here to Sims 2 artists. So this is the Life Stories buy bundle. So we can go ahead and download this one. And then with these files, we have optional and we also have required. The main bundle, you can put this into your downloads folder, or you can also put it into your game installation folder, and they explain that in this download page. So I recommend reading through that. Basically, if you put it in your downloads folder, it'll work fine, but everything will be starred with the custom content star. If you put it into your game install files, it won't have that custom content star, which some people might prefer. But yeah, so obviously this is the buy mode bundle. There is also a separate bundle for build mode, and this also gives you a little preview of some of the content that you get, which is really nice. Here we go. Here's the link to the build bundle. Okay, then we also have some more preview images here, and so we can go ahead and grab the build mode bundle. Oh, forgot to mention this before. I was just thinking of it as the game reloaded. My other favorite thing that came with the store content or the pre-order content are some extra objects for babies. So this bouncer chair and the dangle master. Oh, love them so much. But anywho, so I've gone ahead and I've put in the Life Stories build by bundle. So this table here, really nice sort of modern dining table from Life Stories, as well as this one here is quite nice, as well as some one tile versions of them. Then we've got some matching sort of side tables, nice coffee table that matches. I believe that Life Stories also comes with even more custom TVs. I could be... Nope, I'm talking out my butt. Never mind, ignore me. This bed is really beautiful, which I believe comes from Life Stories as well. And that is from the Art Deco set. That is from the Asian set. Yeah. Just lots and lots of really nice content add-ons that you can get really easily through some pretty simple downloads. And then, of course, the Life Stories brick walls. The Life Stories brick is actually one of my favorite brick textures that we have, and people have also made extra recolors of these textures that you can also download, which just look really, really nice. And then I think we will also have now some extra floors that we didn't have before. I love this one in particular. So cool. So yeah, highly recommend grabbing the Life Stories Build Buy bundles as well. And just make sure you read the download information on the page carefully, because there are a couple of sort of mods and different bits and pieces that you need. One of the main ones is you need to have an instrument hack, because Life Stories comes with this custom guitar, which is really quite fun. So you need to have a mod that enables you to have custom musical instruments, essentially. Right, so kind of continuing our theme of build mode content, the next thing that I recommend, and this is the final thing in my first top 10, to download some Sims 2 Maxis Doors Centered. So in the vanilla game, we don't get a lot of options if we want to place a door centered on 2 tiles. And of course, in The Sims 2, there's no free placement of doors and windows, which can get very annoying. So enter CC creators. These base game doors centered by Leafish are essential in my mind. And you can go ahead and grab these, and then you'll be able to center doors. There is also this file that I will include as well for the walnut door. This one came with an expansion pack. It's also by Leafish, and so I highly recommend grabbing yourself some centered doors. It is going to make building in this game so much easier for you. Then continuing again with our build mode recommendations, you cannot go past if you want an all-in-one inclusive expansion, and you know, this might even be the only thing you download to expand your build mode and you would be pretty set. This is the Bespoke build set by Honeywell. This gives you a whole host of new windows and doors, wallpapers, roof patterns, interior walls, so many things. They all come with a beautiful array of recolors, as we see here, a garage door, decorative trim for your roofs and for your porches. Just so much content all included in this one set. So I really recommend getting yourself the Bespoke build set by Honeywell. I am going to show you guys this one in game in just a minute. And then last but not least, this is a bonus. This isn't actually officially included in my top 10 recommendations. Hi, it's the editor here. If you look at the document, you will see that I actually made this the #1 recommendation in my second set of top 10. I decided to shuffle things around a bit to fit it in that section of the downloads instead, but I'll show you this footage now anyway. I do also recommend doing a cheeky little Google search for Sims 2 window add-ons, because once again, the doors and windows that are in The Sims 2 by default leave a little bit to be desired. There's not that many options. But similar to, if you're a Sims 4 player and you're familiar with Peacemaker IC, and he usually takes a Sims 4 set of like windows and doors and then just adds in all the missing pieces. You can do similar things for The Sims 2. And so you can get expansion sets for all of the windows. So the gearhead windows, the function of plate glass windows and doors, the double hung windows. These are really fun. And just really quickly, I will show you my absolute favorite one. And again, this is going to be linked, is the Independent Expressions add-ons by Mary Lou. Yeah, this is probably my -- window expansion set that I would recommend downloading. These are just really lovely windows, and this expansion set gives you a really nice, sorry, it's actually in multiple parts, expansion to your windows and doors build mode area. All right, so here we are back in the game, and now if we go into windows and doors, this is where we're going to see the most difference from the vanilla game. So first of all, our centered doors. So this is the base game, very plain, simple door. And now we have a centered version. So if you have, for example, a hallway that's 2 tiles wide and you want a door right in the center, you can't do that with that door, but you can do it with this door. Really nice. That's what we love. So I have got that now for this door as well. I have also got it for the Moroccan door. I've got it for the Moroccan door. and for this one as well. So yeah, base game centered doors are very, very nice. Then of course we spoke about the Bespoke build set, and we can see a lot of content in here that is from Bespoke. One of my favorite things about the Bespoke build set is that it automatically comes with centered versions of all of the doors, as you see here, and that is really, really nice. This one is on 1 tile, this one is on 2 tiles. Then of course we've got some really nice sort of French door style on 1 and 2 tiles as well. This is my favorite front door to use. I tend to use this all the time, and it is from the Bespoke build set. Love this front door. And then we also have these French doors from Bespoke. And then of course this front door as well is just a gorgeous front door that you can use for your lots. And then I couldn't resist also putting in the Independent Expressions expansion set. So we have some really nice doors and windows from that. If we move over to our windows category actually, so the original Independent Expressions ink window is this one right here. And then you can see we have all of these sort of extra meshes, single, centered, etc., as well as some sort of like multi-tiled windows too, which are really, really nice. And all of that comes with that expansion set to the Independent Expression windows. In terms of the Bespoke build set, we have these beautiful windows here with shutters at different heights, and of course all of these also come centered or not centered. We've got some really nice little octagonal windows that you can put inside roof pitches. We've also got these really nice double hung windows, and these are just a lot nicer than the sort of vanilla Sims 2 one. They're bigger, they're cleaner, they're wider, and they let in more light. So if you're thinking that, you know, your window's not letting in enough light, those ones do a much better job of that. So yeah, Bespoke build set is amazing. Of course, it doesn't only come with windows and doors, it also comes with beautiful recolors for your roofs in The Sims 2. So if we quickly just throw a roof on this, there we go, then I can by default, you know, use these recolors that Maxis gave us, which are all very fun. But with the Bespoke build set, I also get a bunch more colors. If you want to play a colorful game, it's really, really nice. So love that one for us. The Bespoke build set also comes with these roof trim pieces. Now this is a little bit complicated to use. I would recommend sort of experimenting with this to get the hang of it, but you can do floor edging as well and build some porches, and yeah, put these little like gable deco pieces as well into the peaks of your roofs. So as I said, Bespoke build set comes with a lot. It is a great one-stop shop for The Sims 2 and expanding your downloads folder. But so that is my first top 10 list for you guys. We've got some nice clean appliance recolors. We've got the Bespoke build set, the Better Bath set. We got cabinet completers, some Creator Sim defaults, some distant terrains and skyboxes for your neighborhoods, some default replacements for your neighborhood, the Life Stories bundle, Maxis Centers doors, and so on and so forth. So that is a really good way to just get started with dipping your toes into Sims 2 CC and just expanding your game in a very vanilla, faithful way. All right, guys, how are you feeling after that first 10? I know that was actually a long list of custom content. I'm hoping this video is not going to end up being 2 hours long. If you are ready and we're still with me and want to look at the next 10 recommendations I have for you, here we go, because I have put together my next 10 favorites that I would really I use this stuff all the time, and I wouldn't want to play without it, so I thought I'd include it in a second list of 10 favorite CC for you all. So first of all, we are on T Vicky Sims' Tumblr, and T Vicky Sims has a couple of things that I would highly recommend grabbing for your Sims 2 game. The first one are her rug default replacements. Rug defaults for all of the Maxis rugs that T Vicky Sims has made, plus hundreds of recolors. These are so good. They're just so good. They update the Maxis rugs with beautiful new textures, beautiful new recolors, and as a bonus for many of the rugs, she's also included different size add-ons, so we can play with all of the rugs ever. So if we come to her Tumblr and we search for rug default replacement, we can just scroll through and look at everything that she's done, and it's just the best, honestly. She is amazing. She makes me very happy, and I would highly recommend grabbing these rug fixes, default replacements, and add-ons for your folder. And then the next one I recommend that was also by T Vicky Sims is her garden plants default replacements. So she has gone through and defaulted the garden plants in The Sims 2 multiple different times. There are multiple different versions you can get. She's got Sims 4 to 2 versions. She's got more Maxis Matchy versions. I play with these defaults. I love them. I adore, you know, the rosebush defaults and everything. I just wouldn't want to play without them. So highly recommend her her shrub default replacements, tree default replacements, flower default replacements. You can find all of these on her Tumblr. And then the third default replacement that I will recommend to you guys is her Azarth Garden Plant Gussy Up Revisited. And these change the look of the garden plants in The Sims 2. If you have a sim who's into gardening, these just make the meshes and textures look so much more beautiful. And Azarth has also created some extra plants that your sims can plant too. So that is all included in this download. As you can see here, they just, you know, they make the strawberry bushes actually look like strawberries and so on and so forth. So I really love these default replacements. The next recommendation I have for you is Veranka's Aura bathroom conversion. This is the bathroom set that I use the most other than Honeywell's Better Bath set. So this comes with some beautiful modern toilets, sinks, showers, shelves, and more bathroom deco, which is always appreciated. It also comes with another toilet roll holder. So, you know, you people who freak out about not having toilet roll holders, don't worry. There's a one included in the Aura bathroom set, so I absolutely love this set. Highly recommend it. The next one in my list is the Buggy Boo's Kitchen Basics set. This is a brilliant set. It is a brilliant modern kitchen. It has so many recolors out there that you can get, and it just adds this beautiful modern looking option for you in your game. So I just highly recommend that. We also have a lot of add-ons. We have a dining add-on, and there are also some kitchen clutter add-ons as well. I'm trying to find, kitchen clutter. Duh. So this is also a really nice set of kitchen clutter if you want to clutter up your Sims kitchens a little bit. And this is all sort of part of the Buggy Boo's Kitchen Basics set. Buggy Boo's, by the way, also has some honorable mentions. If you would like to check out their website, I also highly recommend checking out the Feast of Frames set. A Feast of Frames, there it is. And then also the Shakerlicious kitchen is a close second in my favorite kitchens. Next, I have something else by Honeywell, and that is this nursery add-on set, which gives you this beautiful little sort of half tile cot, which is really helpful for when you have twins in the game, because you can have these little cots and this tiny little change table that goes in the middle of them as well. This is a really cute set, and it also does include, I believe, fixed versions of the Dangle Master and the Baby Bouncer that came with the store content. So highly recommend this download. It is very, very nice. Then the next one I have for you guys are a collection of one tile versions of the Maxis desks that came with the game. These are really, really helpful when you are dealing with small spaces in The Sims 2. You want to have a desk for your sim to have a computer, but you don't have a lot of room. I love these one tile desks. These are a really nice expansion add-on for The Sims 2. And then in terms of Sims 2 expansions and add-ons, I cannot recommend enough the IKEA set expansions and add-ons. Now, if you are a legacy player and you did not get IKEA stuff pack in your download of the game, first of all, I'm really sorry. IKEA is like the best stuff pack ever. I've included a link in my document to where you can download IKEA and add it to your game, because I highly recommend doing that. And then once you've got IKEA, you can also have IKEA add-ons. So I've included some links for these Hemnes add-ons, and also these Expedit add-ons, and also these Levsic add-ons. Lots and lots of add-ons for the IKEA furniture in The Sims 2, just to really flesh out your buy mode folder. And then the last one in this second list of top 10 I recommend is the Rhaenys panelled doors and windows set, edited by Shastakiss. So Shastakiss has really done a great job of just editing this doors and windows set. This is one of my favorite doors and window sets, and Shastakiss made the glass transparent instead of blue, and also fixed an issue where the arch was overriding a base game door. So again, links are all in the document, but I highly recommend this content as some really, really nice expansion sets for your Sims 2 downloads folder. Now, speaking of Shastakiss, this is a very convenient segue into the next little section on my document document where I have given you guys a list of names and links for some of my favorite Sims 2 recolor artists. So recolors in The Sims 2 just, again, expand the game so much because they give you custom swatches for all of the furniture. And so Shastakis is actually a well-known recolor sort of artist who came up with a couple of color palettes, the Cluedo palette and the Yeti palette. And so you can find some really nice recolors from Shastakis. And then my other favorite creators that I've linked to you guys, we have Liz, who has this Clay Bee color palette, which is really, really nice if you want to check out Liz's recolors. They're here on Mod The Sims. We also have iCAD on Mod The Sims. iCAD had their own wood swatch, and they have done some really, really nice recolors for The Sims 2. In particular, my favorite things from iCAD are the door recolors, Max's door recolors, and also the floor restoration project, where you can get Sims 2 floors recolored in the iCAD swatch. As I mentioned, they are famous for their wood swatch. Then we also have Michelle, of course. Michelle is just the OG Sims 2 recolor artist. Oh my goodness, Michelle has 1,086 downloads here on Mod The Sims. So if you're looking for Sims 2 recolors, look no further than Michelle. She's also got a bunch of like Maxis add-ons for rugs and IKEA furniture, and does some Sims 4 conversions every now and then. We've got this tiny living superset right here that you can download if you want. So yeah, I love Michelle. Michelle does awesome stuff. Oh, I haven't actually seen this download. Oh, those are really nice blinds. Ooh, I might download those. Then we also have Happy Cezale, I think is the way you say Happy's name. But Happy is another sort of OG recolor artist in my opinion. And if we search their Dream Width for their recolors tag, they have gone through and recolored basically everything in The Sims 2, which is just amazing. They tend to use mostly iCAD's wood swatch, I believe. So you can go ahead and grab all of these recolors for all of the furniture in iCAD swatches and have just a really nice sort of unified looking game where you can make all the furniture match because you have the same recolors for all the furniture. The Sims 2 had the same problem that The Sims 4 has, where nothing matches by default. Everything's just in different woods, and it's really annoying. But yeah, so Happy is great and pairs really well with iCAD. Then in terms of more colorful recolors, I highly recommend Lena Cherries here on Tumblr. Lena Cherries does a lot of really beautiful like high color recolors for The Sims 2 and all the different sets that we have. And then also Sims in Low Space. Sims in Low Space does really beautiful recolors of, you know, like curtains, walls, floors, paintings, just all kinds of things. And I really, really love coming and taking a look at Sims in Low Space's Tumblr every now and then just to see what they've been up to. They have some really beautiful downloads. You will notice, of course, with Sims in Low Space that they tend to recolor a lot of Sims 4 or 4 to 2 conversions, which is another nice segue into the next section of our video where we are going to talk about 4 to 2. So 4 to 2 is kind of like a style that you can get into for Sims 2 CC, and it's pretty amazing. It honestly, like if you're a Sims 4 player and you come on over to the Sims 2 and you're like, man, I kind of miss some of the, like, you know, the objects and clutter and everything that we have in the Sims 4, like the Sims 2's buy mode feels a bit empty, whatever. Don't worry. You can just download everything you've got in the Sims 4 for the Sims 2 instead. It's fine. Honestly, when a new kit or stuff pack gets announced for the Sims 4, the Sims 2 community go, ooh, yay, new conversions. Anywho, so I also have a bonus sort of top 10 list included in my document below if you want to get started with a 4 to 2 folder, and you're going to notice some very common themes here in my list. So basically, if you want to explode your downloads folder with 4 to 2 custom content, look no further than lordcrumps.com. Lord Crumps, in conjunction with 2 other main creators, T-Vicky Sims and Platinum Aspiration, has converted so much Sims 4 content. You just will be blown away by how much stuff there is here that you can just download and whack into your Sims 2 game. So, for example, every single 4 to 2 bed by Platinum Aspiration. You can just download every bed that's ever been released for The Sims 4 and put it into The Sims 2. Every single wall converted from The Sims 4 into The Sims 2. So all your wallpaper swatches, everything. You can also grab floors, I believe, as well. He's got another download for floors. Pretty much all of the kitchen counters converted for The Sims 2. Pretty much every single window and door converted to The Sims 2 by Platinum Aspiration and Lord Crumps. Lord Crumps also has, as I mentioned, their own hood tree default replacements for all of the hood trees, which I assisted with in a very small way. didn't do much. So yeah, basically, if you want to get into 4-2, Lord Crumps is your friend. As I mentioned before as well, we also do have T-Vicky Sims, and T-Vicky Sims has done default replacements for example, all of the plants in-game in the Sims 4 style, as well as, and I'm not actually seeing it here right now, but there is also, she's also done default replacements for all of like the potted plants in the game as well. So that's another really nice default replacement you can get. And then speaking of Platinum Aspiration, you can also download default replacements for every single hair in the game in one click by coming to Platinum Aspiration's 4-2 hair defaults download. And she went through and replaced every single Sims 2 hair with a mesh from the Sims 4 instead. So as I said, if you want to blow up your downloads folder with Sims 4-2 custom content, Lord Crumps, T-Vicky Sims, Platinum Aspiration are amazing. Now, it's not just them though, okay? It is by far and large, this is just a huge, like, section of the community that is doing 4-2 stuff for The Sims 2. So I also wanted to mention some other creators that we cannot go past mentioning. So one of them is Jackie93 Sims on Tumblr. Jackie93 does some really nice Sims 4-2 conversions, and in particular I just love their 4-2 conversions of foods, custom foods, as well as furniture and more. Another one of my favorites is Simsco for 4-2 conversions. Simsco does a lot of conversions of Sims 4 custom content and converts it into the Sims 2, which is really nice. I really enjoy what they do. I've got a lot of their downloads for custom couches and living room furniture. Another Tumblr to highlight is Kestrel Teens. So lots and lots of custom content converted by Kestrel. I actually haven't seen this one. That's really nice. As well as some very nice reblogs and some just beautiful gameplay pictures as well that Kestrel shares. So Kestrel Teens is another one definitely to follow. And then in terms of creator sim content, Platinum Aspiration is obviously a really big one. And then in terms of creator sim people, I highly recommend Elo Sims and Veronaville Trash or Corny Reagans for 4-2 default conversions of clothes. Default replacements, of clothes. They do some really nice default replacements. And again, you will find these guys by looking on the default database. But also Lucilla Sims does some beautiful 4-2 clothing conversions, as well as Calyx Sims does a lot of really nice 4-2 clothing conversions, in particular for kids. And these are just to name a few. So yeah, if you want to look into Sims 4-2 stuff, what I recommend doing is coming to Tumblr and just searching Sims 4-2, okay? And you will just find so much 4-2 stuff. You can find CC, you can find all of the things. So Sims 4-2 or just like 4-2 tag or 4-2cc tag will get you started on finding lots of 4-2cc. But okay, that's everything I have time for today. My baby girl's just woken up from a nap, so I gotta get going. But I hope you guys have found this video helpful and enjoyed watching. As I mentioned, everything, all links will be included in the document that is in the video description. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and let me know. But yeah, I really love Sims 2 CC. I enjoy it so much. It's very addictive, CC shopping, and it just, for me, it is so fun to just like flesh out The Sims 2 with all this extra content, modernize the game, make it feel less like you're playing a 20-year-old game and more like you're playing like quite a modern game, honestly. And just have a great time doing that. So if you did enjoy this video, I would be very grateful if you would leave a thumbs up, share this video out with other new Sims 2 players, and if you had not subscribed, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to stay up to date with me and the channel. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye for now.